I can compare two numbers by using symbols. Today, for this lesson, you're going to need your math journal and you'll need a pencil. So you can go ahead and get those two things out, your math journal and a pencil. But don't start writing yet. Remember yesterday we learned that Mr. Alligator is hungry for lunch. Find the biggest number and munch, munch, munch. So that's why Mr. Alligator is facing his head towards the 9, because he's going to munch it up, because it's the biggest number. Remember, we have 3 symbols that we can use to compare two numbers. We have the greater than symbol when Mr. Alligator is facing the first number, or we also have the less than symbol when he's facing the second number, and then we have the equal sign when the numbers are the same. So again, if Mr. Alligator's facing the first number, munching the first number, we say greater than. If Mr. Alligator's munching the second number, we say less than. If the numbers are the same, we say equal to. So today we're going to compare two numbers, find the correct symbol that will go in between the two numbers, and then we're going to write a sentence of how we would say the equation that you see. So first I want you just to watch me. I'm going to spin both numbers. I have 13 and I have 84. Remember, I can look at the tens digit. I have a 1 in the tens digit here, and I have an 8 in the tens digit here. Automatically, I know that this number is greater because 8 is much bigger than the 1. So I'm going to munch the 84. Remember, when I'm munching the second number, we say less than. So watch me read this. 13 is less than 84. I'm going to write that in a sentence like we do in writing, and this is going to explain how I knew what symbol goes in the middle. 13 is less than, because it's looking away from the first number, it's eating the second number, 84. 13 is less than 84, and that explains that I know what this number sentence means. So now I want you to get out a pencil, and I want you to get ready to write. I'm going to spin. You write this equation, putting the correct symbol in the middle. So we have 27 and we have 43. Please write those two numbers and put the correct symbol in the middle. I'll give you a second to do that. All right, let's check our answer. I know that 27 is smaller than 43 because I see a 2, and 2 is smaller than a 4 over here in the tens digit. So Mr. Alligator is going to eat the 43. Now, let's write how you would explain this equation, just like we did on the last one. So go ahead and write a sentence explaining how you would say this equation, starting with 27, starting on the left-hand side, just like when we read, we start over here. If you read this number sentence right, you would have said 27 is less than 43. Please make sure you have that explanation underneath your two numbers. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to roll. Let's try this one again. Okay, I'll give you a minute to write the two numbers and make sure to put the correct symbol in the middle of the two numbers. This symbol right here means that you are writing this. After you write the correct equation, I want you to write a sentence explaining what we would say when we see this equation. Okay, so I know these two numbers are the same, so I'm going to put an equal sign in the middle. Now, in case you didn't have time to explain how you would say this equation, I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds to write what you would say when you see that equation. You would say 30 is equal to 30. That would be a good explanation of how you would say this equation. Let's try another one. I'm going to roll. And now we have 65 and 43. Write those two numbers down and put the correct symbol in the middle. Remember, Mr. Alligator always eats the bigger number. All right, let's check your answer. I know that 65 is bigger than 43. Over here, I see a 6 in the tens digit, and I only see a 4 over here. 6 is bigger, so I know I want to eat this number 65. Now, I want you to write a sentence explaining how you would say this equation. Remember to start from the left. All right, if you wrote a sentence explaining this number, you would start with 65. And you would say 65. And I know that when Mr. Alligator's looking at the first number, I know that means greater is greater than 43. 65 is greater than 43. So remember, when Mr. Alligator is looking at the very first number, we say greater than. When Mr. Alligator is looking away from the first number, he's looking at the second number, we say less than. Or if the numbers are the same, we say equal to.